When my marriage ended, I thought my life had to, for 10 years. I'd been with someone who, over time, just stopped seeing me, stopped hearing me, stopped loving me. Those divorce papers weren't just ink on paper. They felt like they carved me open, leaving me completely hollow. I remember just dragging myself through each day like a ghost. My apartment was so quiet, so empty, that work became my only escape. It was just a place to hide from the silence. And that's where she came in. Her name was Natalie. We'd worked together for 3 years, sharing the same office space. But I'd never really noticed her, not in the way I began to after the divorce. She wasn't loud or flashy. She was steady. The kind of person who remembers you, take your coffee with 2 sugars, and notices when you're not quite yourself. I'll never forget that first week. I was at my desk, trying so hard not to cry, trying to hold it all together. I thought I was doing a pretty good job of hiding it until a cup of tea appeared right beside my keyboard. "You look like you need this," Natalie said softly. She didn't ask what was wrong. She didn't press for details. She just sat across from me, quietly typing on her laptop, and her presence was this incredibly warm, grounding force that one small, simple act of kindness, it cracked something open inside me that had been sealed shut for a long, long time. Days turned into weeks. And without even realizing it, she became my anchor. Every time I felt like I was about to completely crumble, I'd glance across the office and see her smile. It wasn't a smile of pity. It was just steady, real. It was a lifeline. One evening, we were the last 2 people in the office, trying to wrap up a big project. I was exhausted and made a dark joke about being too broken to function. She stopped what she was doing and looked at me with this fierce, tender expression that I just wasn't ready for. "You're not broken," she said, her voice so firm. "You're just healing, and anyone who can't see your worth is a fool." No one had said anything like that to me in months. I had to look away quickly so she wouldn't see the tears welling up in my eyes. Her words hit me like a tidal wave of validation I didn't even know I was starving for. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about her. The gentle curve of her smile, the way she said my name, the quiet, unshakable strength she carried with her everywhere she went. It was terrifying, because for the first time since my world had fallen apart, my heart actually felt something again, a flicker of warmth in the cold. I tried to bury it, to push it down. She was my coworker, my friend, and I was still so raw, still just learning how to stand on my own 2 feet again. But the more time I spent with her, the harder it became to deny what was happening. She made me laugh when I thought I'd forgotten how. She made me feel seen in a way I hadn't been in years. She made me want to hope again. The breaking point came on a Friday night. We'd gone out for drinks after a long week. Just the 2 of us. The bar was loud. The city was alive outside the window. But when I looked at her across our little table, it felt like the entire world had narrowed down to just us. Time just seemed to slow down. Then she reached over and gently brushed a stray strand of hair from my face. It was such a small gesture, but it sent a jolt of electricity straight through me. I must have looked startled, because she pulled her hand back quickly. "Sorry," she murmured, her cheeks flushing a little, but I surprised myself. Before she could pull her hand away completely, I caught it with my own. "Don't be," I whispered, my voice barely audible over the noise of the bar. Our eyes locked. For a heartbeat that felt like an eternity, neither of us moved. Then she leaned in, slowly, hesitantly, as if giving me every chance to back away. The kiss was soft, tentative at first, but it shattered all the walls I had so carefully built around my heart. In that moment, for the first time in so long, I felt completely and utterly alive. Afterward, I found myself laughing through tears. It was a strange, beautiful mix of relief and joy. I think I've been falling for you without even realizing it, I admitted, the words tumbling out. Natalie squeezed my hand, her smile radiant. I know, she said. I've been falling too. I just didn't want to push you before you were ready. Ready? That word echoed in my chest. Was I ready? I wasn't fully healed. Maybe I never would be, not in the way I was before. But with her, healing didn't feel so lonely or impossible anymore. Since that night, things haven't been perfect. Real love never is. But we built something real, something honest, right there in the middle of my brokenness. She never asked me to be whole. She just asked me to be me. And that's the most important thing I learned through all of this. Sometimes love doesn't come when you're strong and have it all figured out. Sometimes it finds you in the wreckage. It sits beside you in the ruins, looks you in the eye, and whispers, "You're still worth loving." Natalie showed me that. And now, when I look at her across the office, I don't just see the woman who comforted me after my divorce. I see the woman who gave me back my heart. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If it resonated with you in any way, I'd be so grateful if you'd like this video and subscribe to the channel. It means the world. See you next time.